Park.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim-flam sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox, coming to you as usual on a Friday from 10 Palms at beautiful Gulfstream Park. I'm going to get us loaded up on the Let's Eat South Florida group. 120,000. I wish 20,000. It was much more manageable back then. And it's another legendary Friday with legends. We should just name this the Legends Lounge up here. Once again, delighted to be joined by Tony Segreto, filling in for the vacationing, gambling, marauding Jeff Defo DeForest up in Atlantic City. You know him from the decades of service on NBC, first Channel 4, then Channel 6. He did sports. He did news. He's a Renaissance man like me. I did sports. I did news. I did food.
That's right.
And to my far left, you're right there on the audience, Joey Cornblit, the legend of the highlight courts and frontons of South Florida. He once again joins us. Welcome back to the Lunchbox, Joey. How are you this week?
Great. Thanks for having me. I look forward to this every week.
Well, who doesn't? You come up here to 10 Palms. We get treated like royalty. Everybody loves seeing Tony. You should have seen the reception he got at Delaware Chicken and Seafood yesterday. Yeah. People are falling all over him. Oh, Tony! They see his face and they brighten up.
Hey, we used to travel together, and in airports, people stopping him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the guy is world famous. I mean, I'm a grade Z celebrity. I go into some restaurants, a couple of bartenders and dishwashers. Sometimes they give me the stink eye, but sometimes they'll pretend to like me because of the group. No, Tony is truly beloved. You are truly beloved by all the bettors and the condo commandos that used to come out. I didn't even give a greeting to Mike Lubie Lubitz. How are you today? Well, Lubie is now in server mode. He is filling up ice cubes. Does this mean we have to tip him? Do you think we have to tip Lubie? No. Okay. We're going to save our gratuities.
What we can do?
What can we do, Tony?
We can give him the daily double of the day.
That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm actually, with Jeff Defo DeForest absent, I actually looked a little bit, not so much at the form, but just kind of rolling the dice on some numbers. But I've come up with some early doubles at both Gulfstream Park, because the first race here is going to be going off towards the end of our show at 12:50, and Churchill Downs, which their first post time today is at 12:45 our time. So if anybody's playing at home and you want to get out your betting apps, here at Gulfstream, I'm going to do a $5 double box. Well, here's the thing. I have a $100 bill in my pocket, and I need some small bills for the gratuities that we always, always tip our servers well here at 10 Palms, because they take great care of us. So, because being the degenerate that I am, Joey, and instead of just like going to a bank or going to somebody and say, can you just break 100? I'm going to go over to the Tenel and say, all right, give me a $5 early double. Give me the 236 with the 47. That's $30. And then at Churchill, a $2 double part wheel, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with the 2-4. That's $20. So I'm going to turn my 100 immediately back into $50. I get my change that I need. And then I got live tickets.
Yeah. Got it all.
Isn't that all you want out of life, is some live tickets?
You got all those numbers, man. Oh, man.
Hey,
yeah.
Wow.
Tony, what do you think?
I don't even know.
I'm overwhelming him. We got so much stimuli going. And, of course, talk about stimuli. Here at Gulfstream, it's going to be an action-packed weekend. We're going to be joined later in the show by Joe Beja, the executive director of hospitality. The third of their trio of bashes that they hold upstairs on the third floor.
Bourbon and barbecue.
It's all about the B's. For me, you know what the third B is?
Bookie. Booze.
Betting. Come on, guys. So we got betting, bourbon, barbecue. That's tomorrow. And I'm sorry, everybody. It's sold out.
Yeah.
We've been talking about it for weeks here, but they ain't no more tickets. I mean,
That's funny.
maybe you can beg and borrow Joe at the front desk and say, but I'm personal friends with Mike Mayo.
Yeah, exactly.
Tony Segreto.
Good luck.
I was watching him the night of Hurricane Andrew. I don't think he's going to let you in. They got strict capacity limits.
Wow.
We are very pleased to hear. I mean, it's such a popular event. Lubie, are you and the Sherrills going to come on out? Or?
My only problem is it's after 3 really, really, really crappy college football weekends. Tomorrow is literally a slate of ridiculous games. The one positive is there's TVs everywhere, and even though a lot of the time they're on races, they do change to local and cable networks. So I really am trying to figure out how I can't come, to be brutally honest. Like it sets up perfectly for the 3 Bs you said and ball. And a 4th B for me. So I want to make it out here. I'm hoping to make it out here.
That's okay. You're excused. I mean, there's some people.
Well, we play early. FSU will be done by the time this thing kicks off.
Well,
so
what time do they play?
They play at 12.
Okay. Well, this
Isn't
thing
it around 3 or 4 is when it gets going, really?
The VIP hour for the Bourbon and Barbecue Bash, which is sold out, but it starts, I believe, the VIP hour is either 12 to 1 or 1 to 2. We'll figure it out with Joe Beja.
Sure,
but again, if you already have your tickets, it's a wonderful thing. And I'm going to be here with a accompanying person.
Look at you.
And,
accompanied person?
No, accompanying not
a
accompanying person. A person who will be accompanying me. A female. Anyway,
is it a female?
Yes, it's a female.
Is it a female?
It's a lady friend.
You know what? I don't.
It's a
Now I'm
lady
going to
friend.
start blushing. She doesn't necessarily want to be a member of the show,
Why not?
and I want to respect. She's got to understand. You know, if you're going to be in the orbit of Mike Mayo, the gambling gourmet, sometimes you get dragged into things that necessarily you don't want to be involved with. But tomorrow we're all going to be involved. We want to be involved with that great bourbon and barbecue.
Wow, that's going to be great.
Going to be Ubering. Tomorrow is a day for the Ubers. Because
A lot of the dark liquor, right?
the brown liquors.
Brown liquor. There you
Are
go.
The
you
brown
gonna- are you
liquors
gonna-
make me a little ugly.
Is your accompanied guest going to be taking an Uber too?
We'll be what? Uber?
Well,
Yeah, no, we're gonna. Yeah, we're coming.
You
Both
coming
of us will
together.
be,
You're not gonna meet her
responsible adults,
Okay.
and that means not just knowing when to say when, but knowing not
How
to
to get
even
there and
get
home,
the
Put the keys in
put
the
the
car.
keys away.
Yeah.
Just
Put the keys
that's it.
away.
You got
Absolutely.
the Lyft and Uber loaded on the app.
There
I'll
you go.
do. Because of my proclivities as a Brooklyn Jewish person, I will be comparing the rates on Lyft and Uber, and whoever comes in lower, I will be. Hey,
Hey,
speaking
let
of,
me tell you real quick.
yeah.
We brought the sausage home last night.
Oh yeah, from Delaware.
Oh my God!
We had a little Oktoberfest
Little
celebration.
Oktoberfest for
It's a nice
dinner.
party.
And that brings us, well, we're going to get to this week's contest, and we will be continuing the Oktoberfest theme with, shocking, a German restaurant.
Nice.
A lot of Oktoberfest celebrations going on around South Florida, the region this weekend. If you pick up your Sun Sentinel or go online, does anybody still get a newspaper,
No.
Tony? No.
No.
Not even on a Sunday?
Nope.
Joey?
No.
Okay.
No, I
Lubie?
don't.
No. I still get my
Oh,
Sun
good for you.
Sentinel. I guess I was a loyal company man. I don't even know why, but I still like having the Sunday paper, and it comes in a package deal where I get it on Saturday and Sunday print, and then I can
Do
go
you
online
read the funny
anytime.
papers?
The comics have gotten so thin, and there's nobody that's original. Like, it's all recycled
Yeah,
comics
the old
from
stuff. Yep.
30 years ago, and all the
So you know
comic.
the plot.
Which one?
You know the plot.
You know the whole
Oh,
thing.
I know. Yeah. Well, my brain is so addled, I don't remember. I know that usually Lucy snatches the ball away while Charlie Brown is about to kick it.
Dagwood.
But that's good. But it seems like all the modern cartoonists out there have all either been canceled or just have self-imploded by making very
Yeah,
silly
yeah.
comments. And
Dilbert,
some
all
of them,
yeah.
the Dilbert guy. I don't know what happened to him. But anyway, that I still like getting the print edition of a paper.
We know Defo loves his New York
Yeah.
Post every
Yeah,
day.
the
Defo
New York
loves
Post.
his New
That's a
York-
great.
Post
that's
has
a great
sports
newspaper.
section, but I mean-
great sports section.
Good
Wow.
sports section. They run it at a loss because it was owned by Murdoch,
retired,
Rupert
recently
Murdoch, who
retired.
has now announced that he is leaving
Yep.
the active duties of running Fox News. And Rupert Murdoch started off. He's Australian. He has newspaper in his veins. He started off as running and publisher of a bunch of tabloid newspapers in Australia, and then that became a newspaper empire across also in the UK and England, and then New York. The New York Post, and then that begat the whole Fox News empire. Whatever you may think of Fox News, it has become a juggernaut, informing or brainwashing Americans since whatever it is. But he announced he's going to be going by the wayside, and I don't know. Did you ever watch the movie Succession? Or the
show.
series?
I like the show Succession, supposedly based on him and his family.
Yeah,
they deny it, and anyone attached to the show openly says, yes, it's them. 100%.
And speaking of hunch plays, there's a first-time starter running at Churchill Downs, I think in the double that I'm using, named Succession.
Oh, there you
go.
go. Wow.
That's we'll see if that comes in. We'll know that later in the show. I'm kind of all over the place, Lubie.
You are.
Let's talk about. Again, we've got 3 Jews and an Italian here, but we're in the midst.
Reynolds like indoctrinated. He's been in South Florida most of his life.
Well, I grew up, Tony, in a neighborhood in Brooklyn that was half Jewish and half Italian, and we're all the same.
It's like, you tell the difference?
There's either you go to church or you go to synagogue, and then you just eat a lot. And holidays, relatives, everybody is. Yelling and screaming at each other one minute, and then everybody's hugging each other and kissing each other.
Eating all the time.
And eating all the time. But we're in the midst, about to conclude the high holiday period.
Yep.
And I just give a program note that there will not be a lunchbox on Monday in observance of Yom Kippur. We're all pulling a Sandy Koufax. It's actually Lubie
What did I
is.
tell you?
Hey guys, we're here. He's gonna drop it. We got the lunch dishes coming in. But yeah, because Lubie and the Lubitzes are observant, and they, he is forbidden from handling a soundboard on Monday. Me and Defo will be walking and
doing.
You know what? I'm not going to be doing any gambling on Monday. I'll be kind of somewhat observant, and we're marking the celebration of the year 5784. Lubie,
Good
you
job.
know
Look
that,
at you. You figured it out.
And as I said last week to Joey, I said, God, it was just 5762. The time really flies. And then we've got, so that means the contest tiebreaker, should there be one, will be on Tuesday's show. And Tuesday's show will be at Prezzo in Boca Raton. And that's part of the Rappaport's restaurant group, which we're very thrilled. They're going to be coming on board as a sponsor for the next 4 months. Burt Rappaport, a tremendous restaurateur.
Really good.
He was the one
too.
with Dennis Max. They first made their first killing was at Raffles, this bar and club down at the Dadeland Mall.
I used to go there.
80s. Did you really?
Oh, yeah. I used to live in Kendall.
Okay, yeah. Well, you should know.
Raffles was fantastic.
Yeah, they would take it. They hit on the idea of, besides just having a restaurant with booze, then you open up a nightclub at night and sell lots of booze at higher rates with a good band.
Fantastic.
Do you remember the house band there,
No, I don't.
or one of the ones that he brought in?
I don't.
Well, he was telling me that one of the original bands they brought in was one. It was. Headed by a guy named Emilio Estevez.
Wow,
even before he met Gloria Estefan, but it was the early incarnation of Miami Sound Machine. Would play at Raffles, and would pack the house and rock.
Well, he said one night they had a fill-in singer, and that was Gloria.
Yeah,
and they came together at their freaking.
What a
restaurant.
great story!
That's a great story.
Bert's a great storyteller, and again, he has 4 restaurants now that we're going to be associated with. We've been traveling around during the summer. But they're coming on board for sponsorships. It's going to be Deck 84, which is a beautiful place right on the Intracoastal in Delray Beach. And Delray Beach is just hopping. Yeah. Then they've got Burt and Max's, which is also in Delray Beach on the west side of town near the Turnpike. We were there. That's where your buddy, Buddha, is the manager there. He does a great job. Max's Grill at Meisner Park in Boca Raton. We did a show there, and on Tuesday we'll be doing a show at Prezzo in Boca Raton. And Bert opened the original Prezzo. It was in Boca, then it became here in Aventura, and he brought in a young chef from Italy named Angelo Ilia, who you might know from Casa d'Angelo.
Yes,
and Angelo has become wildly successful. But anyway, Bert's a great guy, always has great stories, and we're thrilled to be able to go into Prezzo.
That's great to
and
have
we will
for
put
sponsors.
I'm looking forward to it.
My new lifestyle.
Throw me a few sponsors for my show.
Huh?
Throw me a few sponsors for my show.
I tell you what, the lunchbox train just keeps picking up more
Rolling
steam.
ahead. Yes,
with
sir.
the little engine that could. I guess we don't have setup, so we're going to have to go Viking style. No, I'm not going to do
We'll get you
anything yet.
setups.
We're going to be civilized.
I will
Hey,
get you
Lubie,
a setup.
Joe
Can I have
Pete.
some lime?
Back
Yeah,
there, we'll get you set up.
we're going to get set up. I have a question before we get into the contest and some of the other things. Joey, because we were talking about the heyday of Highlight last week, and you, of course, were a long time at Miami Highlight and then at Dania Highlight. I think, we have a sense, because I was a sports writer and Tony, of course, is a sportscaster. We know what it's like, covering baseball teams, football teams. You get access to the players in the locker room a little bit. But I think Highlight might have been the most hidden of all the sports. I know Tony did some features on you, but there's a lot of players from, Spain, the Basque region. I don't know how many spoke English well. But what was it like day to day? Is there a locker room area before the matches, or is there a little lounge where you'd all hang out in between?
We had a locker room, and then we had a players' lounge upstairs, and a basket room where we, store our baskets, and we had a basket maker there that would fix our and then we had somebody take care of the highlight balls. But we had a regular sports locker room, but no one was allowed in.
So I imagine that the dynamic was kind of what we see at the race track here with the jocks.
Correct.
Jockeys have a jocks room, where they hang out, they change their silks. If they're not riding every race, there's a place, I guess they have a sweat box, a sauna room if they need to lose weight.
Right.
Little areas where I guess they could play ping pong and watch TV or study the racing form. But it's a weird dynamic, I imagine, because these are your competitors, but you have to kind of be in close quarters all day.
Yeah.
What was that like? Did nerves get frayed if somebody was on a losing streak?
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't. When guys were not winning and helmets were flying through the locker room.
Cesters broken? Did people bash?
Oh yeah,
they break hands
guys would break baskets, and very competitive, and of course everybody wants to win, but not everybody can win, and the ones that didn't win were not too happy. Plus, we had prize money, so every time you came in first, second, or third, there were prize money. So there's money on each game. So besides our salary and bonuses and stuff like that, there's prize money, and that's why people think that we didn't want to win. We definitely wanted to win, because at the end of the month, your
check
you get another check. Exactly.
Was there fisticuffs ever? I mean, if somebody thought another player did something that was, like in race riding, I know, if somebody veers out or cuts a horse off or they clip heels and you put other jocks in danger, you hear stories of sometimes jockeys get verbal altercations and sometimes come to blows and fisticuffs.
Very little.
Okay.
But yes, it's happened. I've seen it. A lot of screaming back and forth, because again, when I was playing, we had 45 players in this locker room.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Big colony. Yeah.
So, if there was an argument back and forth, you would have other players try to break it up, because no one wanted to get fined. No one wanted to get suspended. So, and there are a lot of players are friends, even though we compete against one another, afterwards we're friends, go out, go out, eat something, have a couple of drinks or whatever it is. And so no one wants to, but I've seen some heated arguments.
Was the cursing in English, Spanish, or Spanglish?
No, it was in Spanish.
Okay.
It was Basque, because
they have their own dialect.
They do.
See, that's
They
something
do.
I never realized.
They do. They have their own dialect, and it's. I was in Spain. I speak fluent Spanish now. I learned in Spain, but to speak Basque. No, to speak Basque is totally.
It's like a foreign language.
Oh my
it's
God,
completely different.
Oh yeah,
It
nothing
is.
like Spanish.
No, nothing.
Did you learn all the key curses in Basque?
the first thing I learned.
Always. I studied a little Russian, and I could give you all the curse words.
Right.
And again, we have a no cursing policy on Let's Eat group. We try to keep it as civil as possible, an impossible task. But, I know the world has become a coarser place, and people use not filthy, but, the 7 words that George Carlin used to talk about has become accepted. You hear it on cable. And I still, even though I love to curse, I'm from Brooklyn. It was part of our language of Brooklyn, the streets, being able to creatively use certain, the F word as a noun, adjective, adverb.
I use it all the time as a comma.
And you do it all the time. But we try to keep it clean here. But if you want to share with us one curse word in Basque,
I don't.
And then give the trash. All right, that's
don't.
fine.
I don't. I don't know any in Basque.
Oh, okay. You
Only Spanish.
Only Spanish.
Well, I know they spent a lot of time last week on this, and I'm down to definitely move on to other things. But I'm always curious because I know it was a big deal down here.
Oh yeah.
And I was talking to some people yesterday in the Northeast.
Yes.
How that was a big deal. But you were talking about your travels.
Yeah.
How often? Where were you traveling to? Because I feel like the rest of America sort of didn't catch on for a few years. Like, were you constantly traveling? Because
No.
I know you were here a lot, but still, like, I feel like
I would be here. Back in the day, it was we only were here 4.5 months in the winter.
it was like a season,
Right, and then I'd go to Fort Pierce, Ocala, Connecticut. There were
Okay.
3 frontons in Connecticut.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
There was Milford, Hartford, Bridgeport,
Okay.
and one in Rhode Island. Okay, which was owned by the West Palm Beach, the
that's
Sylvester family, and but then we had laws change and we had highlight all year round.
Okay.
But I would go sometimes for 3 months of the summer, and I'd go to Spain and I'd play.
How is it there? Is it like
Different
that's their
game.
sport? Like
Different game. We play partidos,
Okay.
2 against 2
Okay.
for 35 straight points.
Oh wow.
Here it's Quinella system, 8 teams, round robin, spectacular 7. Game lasts maybe 10 minutes.
Mm.
There, I could be on the court for an hour and a half.
Oh,
wow.
geez.
Like
Oh,
a
yeah.
tennis match.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It was totally different, and it's funny because I call them like bookies. There's a whole bunch of guys that are standing and
Taking bets.
taking bets, and they give odds.
Oh god.
Okay, and you could bet on every point, and they're giving odds, and they have a tennis ball that's cut in half,
Okay.
and somebody would take the bet. The guy would write it on a piece of paper, put it in the tennis ball, and throw it to you, and then you throw the tennis ball back, and that's how they gamble.
Oh
That's
my
how they
God.
gamble.
That's crazy.
It was wild. It was wild.
It's definitely a different era. I mean,
Oh,
I remember, I
totally
grew up in New York and Brooklyn, and you see those commercials for Milford Highlight all the time.
Yep.
And
I played in Milford. I went up for a summer. Well, not really, 2 months. And I went up there, and they wanted me to have these special matches against my rival, which was a Basque player. And so I went up to Milford for a couple months. But I did play in Hartford. When they first opened in Hartford, I was there. And Milford and Bridgeport, I only played a tournament that they had.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, basically stayed in Miami. Was
Right.
there for 15 years, and then I went to Dania and for 10 years.
Right.
Wow.
South Florida,
Wow,
born and
25 years
bred.
you were playing.
Tony, where are you from
Sorry?
originally?
25 years. That's
New
amazing.
Jersey.
25
You're a
years.
Jersey boy. Okay, Segredo is a Jersey guy.
Yeah.
What exit?
Is it Patterson? Is it Patterson?
Patterson, New Jersey.
There you
that's
go.
right.
So you were off the Garden State Parkway?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
In fact, we were just in northern.
Uh-oh.
We were in
I wanna
southern.
try this.
Yeah,
This looks lovely.
Lubie has gone full Mike Mayo. He's just crowding.
wanna try
I don't know
it.
what happened to him in Morocco. I think he
I
starved
just
or he
wanna
just got
try-
so sick of the
They do
tagines.
fish so well here.
This pompano fish, it's a flat fish that you don't often see.
Looks
And
awesome.
it's beautiful. It's a beautiful fillet and in the middle. And I'd be happy to share with anybody who would like a piece.
Just wanna
Southern,
give it a
it's a
taste.
southern dish.
Is it the pompano? It's just a type of a flat fish. A lot of people thought it was a type of snapper. I think it's completely different. Here, Tony, I'm going to give you a little piece of that because I know you're a big fish fan. But anyway, we're reminiscing about the past.
New Jersey.
New
Yeah,
Jersey.
New Jersey,
What was
not
good there? Pizza or you had the?
I mean, Jersey.
What do you
I feel like
What do you
it's gotta
miss
be big Italian.
most about the food scene from growing up?
Pizza, for sure. That's about it because now you can get what you want anywhere.
Right.
And
There's a lot of good food around, and I don't know if you heard the big brouhaha on the Let's Eat group earlier this week. Was this woman posted, just joined the group the other day, and came striding in on her Texas high horse. Apparently, she just moved here from Texas, and said, "There's no good food in South Florida."
Just period. The blanket statement. None.
I just came here
Not
from Texas.
no Chinese
There's
or
no
whatever.
good food in
Period.
South Florida. Period. Prove me wrong. And then
Man,
she
people
just
proved
got
wrong.
blasted. And we were saying, yeah, there's a ton of good food. You're obviously not looking. And, it's one of the big bones of contention that people move here from New York and they say, oh, there's no good bagels or there's no good pizza. Well, Grandpa's, you found a good bagel. And, we love.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
God.
I mean, and those guys are from New York and they have bagel shops still going in New York. They didn't. And it's not the water, because if you use the osmosis, the filtered water, it's all about the knowledge, boiling them properly, the right recipe, the proofing the dough, which is the trickiest part because of the humidity here. So all these things, but you can find good anything in Florida, South Florida. It makes me annoyed. But I did have a question for you, Tony, because I hear sometimes people talking about like New Jersey style pizza, and I always thought like all the pizza. I know New Haven style
I was
pizza in
just going to
Connecticut
say,
is
when
different.
I was in Milford,
Those
two Pepe's and Sally's or whatever.
Sally's and Pepe's, and then
Unbelievable.
modern, and those are flatter, and they come out in these coal fired ovens, well done, crispy. Some people call it burnt. I love it.
Me too.
I like the New Haven style pizza. But in Brooklyn, we had some of those old school coal fired ovens, and they also came out thin and crispy. A place in Coney Island called Totono's, and then you had the regular slice joints that used the deck pizza ovens, and they had more of the floppy, foldy ones. And
I like it in between.
Yeah.
Although I like Anthony's. I like when Anthony.
Oh, and when he first opened the coal-fired pizza, it was great. And there's also on the Totono's well done coal-fired style.
But the floppy corner.
Yeah, where you fold it and they get the grease running down.
That to me is the bomb.
The way to eat pizza, right?
Yeah, it's a way to eat pizza.
I fold it over. I sometimes blot it if it's got too much grease, because I don't want it dribbling on my shirt and chin. And
now you got me thinking about pizza.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tony. Well, you enjoy your nice salad with
That's
fish
a great
today,
salad.
and I got the pompano. You've got the split pea soup, a little piece of fish there. Lubie got some wings, the lemon pepper wings, which are always very good. I might steal not a wing, but a piece of celery, because that's on the new health plan. All right, guys, what do you say that we maybe kick off the contest this week?
Yeah, well,
ready for some hints. Let's go.
Okay, all right, man. Goes to Morocco a couple of weeks, gets all kind of antsy there. Here we go. And one reminder before we get into the whole rules of the game. There's a bunch of you guys out there who have won the contest that have not yet claimed your prize.
Oh, wow.
And I just want to remind you that, sometimes we try to, keep an even flow so that Joe and his crew can accommodate guests. And again, if you want to sign up for a given Sunday, just email me at mikemayoeats@gmail.com. I know that Judy is out there. Green Eyed Girl, you talk about maybe coming out, and we're going to talk to Joe, but I think we are going to try to have one of our quarterly brunch bashes, the Lunchbox Brunch Bash, and I don't know if this is a good date for you, Lubie, but I'm looking at Sunday, October 29th.
I'm here, man.
Right before Halloween. So Sunday, October 29th, I think we're going to be doing one of our, we've been doing it like every 3 months.
Yeah, it's been a blast.
Where we'll come out here. I'll be here. Lubie will be here.
Yeah.
Defo, hopefully. We'll have Tony and Joey more than welcome to attend.
Mhm.
And for those of you who are not contest winners, if you want to come on out, we'll get you a discounted rate of, instead of the usual $50 for the brunch buffet, which is a great deal in and of itself, including one mimosa. You get the discounted kinfolk rate of $40 per person, and that gets you an all-day buffet, and we hang out, we watch the races, I give a little handicapping tips, and sometimes they actually come in.
Yeah,
But it's a fun time, so circle those calendars. October 29th,
let's go.
we're going to do it. And if you're interested, you'll just let me know those weeks before. We'll start talking about it then. But for those contest winners out there who have not
you gotta
claimed
claim that prize. You can
their
do it then, I guess,
prize,
if you want.
you can come out that
Yeah, do it then.
October 29th. And I know Judy was mentioning if she could do that, maybe that would be great.
That'd
But
be fun.
it looks like right now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 past winners
Wow.
from the past couple of months that have not given me a date yet. So don't forget, if you are sitting on one of those prizes and brunch for twos, does anybody need anything, gentlemen? We
I
have
think
our
we're great.
lovely
Thank you so
servant.
much.
Good. But we did have one pencil in October 1st. Stephen Eckert, thank you for getting back to me, and you will be in the books, and come on out. All right, now let's get to the meat of the matter. You know how it works. We've been doing this for 41 weeks now. Can you believe that?
41 weeks.
Yeah, we
Yes.
were supposed to be, well, don't tell anybody. Shh. But
It was supposed
no,
to
we
be
thought
what
it-
it's been.
yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's been a huge success because it's gotten some new blood
Yeah, a lot of people.
into the game and exciting, checking out a great Sunday brunch spot that also happens to overlook a thoroughbred racetrack where you have some of the best equine athletes and jockeys in the
You can't
world
beat
come
it.
together
Can't
every
beat it.
year. So we're thrilled that we turned this into a year-round thing. And you should have seen the way Joey, that Defo was mocking me, like, nobody's going to understand this. This is too complicated. What are you talking about? It's pretty simple.
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
I give you a series of restaurant clues, and you either know the answer to those trivia questions, and if you do, you write that down, along with you give a pick for the feature race of the week that we kind of have a handicapping contest. And if you get both components right, and you're the only one, you win Sunday brunch for two, right here at 10 Palms at Gulfstream Park.
What more could you want?
And if there are more than one person gets it right, we have a tiebreaker system.
Now, what happens this week
What's
Yeah.
that?
if the Monday's the day?
Oh, well, we got Yom Kippur we're going to be taking off. So we're going to
It'll
have
be
our
Tuesday. You'll
tiebreaker
get it
where we
Tuesday.
put everybody who's eligible into the hat, and the old fashioned way where
When
we
you
just
do
pick
the hat.
Yeah, it's like a
on air.
shake. It's a
Right.
shake, and everybody gets their little slip in the hat, and I close
Yep.
my eyes and pick one
Right.
out. And
Objective and unbiased.
yes, and thank
Very
you, Tony.
upfront.
So that's the way it works. And people figured it out. Every week we get flooded, and there are still lots of people who have not won yet. And there are some people who have won multiple times because some people are just lucky. And, the rule is you're eligible once. If you've won after 90 days, then you can re-enter and be re-eligible. And that's what happened last week. Congratulations to Maria Frandina.
Yes.
Won for a second time.
How many people enter?
Oh, usually, we've gone anywhere, depending on the degree of difficulty of the restaurant, anywhere from 30 to 70 entries in a given week.
Yeah, we have a
and-
nice following.
And so I'm glad that people are taking part and keep on trying, because
Yeah.
perseverance is the name of the game. And again,
Yes.
this week we're going to be the feature race. It's giving me a number between 1 and 10 because it's the contest race is Saturday's 7th race at Gulfstream. It's actually a maiden race for 2-year-olds, and it's got the biggest field of the day, a 60,000 maiden special weight rate race. 7th race. There's 10 entries in the race. It looks like a couple of them are favored. Number 3, 2-1 in the morning line, Saint No More. That's me. I'm not a saint anything. And then the number 4, 3-1 in the morning line, Cadron Settlement. But yeah, full field of 10. So a number from 1 through 10, along with the clue, the winning restaurant. Send it to MikeMayoEats@gmail.com by noon tomorrow. If it's later than noon, it goes out the door because, I'll be here drinking bourbon and I won't even be able to see. Everything's going to be blurry. So get those contest entries in earlier. Here we go. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Oh,
let's
and last
go.
week, Maria Frandina, she got the clue was for National Chicken Month, was it? Or
Okay, I wasn't here. I don't know.
Or
Look at me.
I'm you know
No,
what?
it's chicken.
No,
Chicken.
last was it
These gentlemen are
Fran's
the ones that
Chicken
were
Haven
here.
2 weeks ago, or it was Deli
Oh,
Den?
it was
Den.
Deli Den.
Deli
was
Den
last
was
week. I
last
remember you
week.
talking about Deli Den.
Deli Den, we were doing in
That Joe
honor.
DiMaggio used to
Yeah,
go
in honor of the high holidays for the Rosh Hashanah. Deli Den in
Right.
Hollywood was a renowned place that Joe DiMaggio used to lunch occasionally. All right, you think I've stretched long enough?
You've stretched way
Are
more than
they-
enough. I'm
Let's see.
ready.
Where we
for
at?
some
12:35.
hits.
We're perfect. Okay, I'll give you the first 2 clues. And again, for this week's restaurant, we celebrate Oktoberfest with
Yes.
a German restaurant. Shocking. The clues: this German restaurant on State Road 84 in Hollywood is celebrating its 35th anniversary this year. It's a Tudor-style complex that also features a adjoining deli with house-made sausages and wursts. The restaurant features an array of German beers on tap and a wide-ranging menu including pork and lamb shank, roast duck, schnitzels, sauerbraten, and Defoe's favorite, liver and onions.
Oh,
And make sure to save room for
I'm
the
not a
Black
fan, that's
Forest
sarcastic.
cake. An excellent Black Forest cake there. Prost. All right, and then
No idea.
all right, German restaurant on State Road 84. I think
Okay,
that
yeah,
will give it to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then clue number 2. A 1997 Sun Sentinel review described the restaurant like this. It wasn't by me.
Oh, okay.
No, this was from
I'm like,
another
was he reviewing
critic.
all the way back then? I'm like,
No, I
geez.
didn't do reviews back then. Back then, it was a guy that used the pseudonym of M.L. Warren. I think it was the guy that was John Tanachuk,
Okay.
who's no longer with us, sadly. But for a while, he worked under a pseudonym and he wore a whole disguise and everything. But he described this restaurant like this. It has a gingerbread exterior and an interior that looks like the Alpine fantasy set of Laurel and Hardy's Babes in Toyland. The walls are paneled, tables are thick slabs of acrylic-coated wood, and there are enough dirndl-clad servers to stage a new production of The Sound of Music.
Was that negative or positive? I'm trying to
It's
figure out if that's
negative
a negative or
or
positive.
He's painting a word picture that it's a very, I guess,
to me that feels positive,
kitschy.
but I don't know if he's mocking it. Like
I guess the thing is, it's like you would imagine like a kitschy
Yeah, like
depiction
those
of
German.
a German restaurant.
That's a good.
It does look
okay.
very German in there.
Okay.
And again, gingerbread exterior, and again, enough dirndl. You know what the dirndls are, right?
Oh, the things that they
Yeah,
like,
it's
the,
where
the
like
outfits or whatever.
the outfits with the dresses and bunched up, and
Yeah.
the men wear lederhosen
say
and the
lederhosen.
women wear the dirndls, and enough dirndl-clad servers to stage a new production of The Hills Are Alive
with the sound of
with the
music.
sound of music.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
That sounds very Mayo-esque.
You're seeing school burned down, huh?
yeah, it's
exactly.
it's
'cause of
awful.
him.
I'm gonna go back to eating my fish. We're going to take our first break. Joe Beige is going to come back. And but before
goodness.
we go to break, let's talk about Tropical Acres Steak.
Yes.
I think I'm trying to get my daughter to go with me there maybe tonight. I am hankering for that twin lobster special.
I'm down to go in the next few weeks. We haven't been in a while talking about our
yeah,
biannual visits.
Yeah, we
usually do
should
that once
have
a year. We head out there for a nice
annual
dinner.
State of the Lunchbox dinner.
Yeah.
And the state of the dinners at Tropical Acres is always
It's
more
fabulous.
than good.
Fantastic.
Fabulous.
And they have that lobster special is
Yep.
usually a sign of summertime. They run it through mid-November.
I love
They
it.
still get their lobster catch in from the cold Atlantic waters, and you get 2 of those steamed pound-and-a-quarter lobsters fresh with a salad and a side dish. And I'm hankering for that because I know that before you know it, winter is
Gonna
going
be
to be
done.
here, and that lobster special is going to be gone. So get it while the going is good.
Yep.
And of course, when that's gone, it'll be stone crab season.
Yeah.
And
right.
Tropical Acres always has stone crabs available for appetizer or entree size portions.
Nice.
And that's part of the thing. People think of it as a steakhouse, but they have a fine selection of seafood. And now that I'm trying to eat maybe a little bit healthier,
Yeah, it's perfect for you.
cut down on the red meat, still plenty of options there. But when you go in there, how can you resist that beautiful prime rib?
Yeah.
They are known for that. And, of course, the filet mignon, all the good stuff. Rack of lamb, too. I love Tropical Acres. It's at 2500 Griffin Road. It is just west of 95 in the airport, and it has been around since 1949. That's older than Defo. And they know
Older
what they're
than me.
doing.
Older than me, too.
Yeah. So it means they're doing something right. The Studio Alley family, they'll take great care of you, and they got the happy hour in the bar. Even on a Friday night, they do happy hour from 4 to 6:30 with those half-price drinks, everything in the house. Again, they got the loyalty reward program. For every 12 entrees you buy, you get the 13th one on the house. And they've got half-price wine on Monday and Tuesday. Always a fine time to go in there. Tropical Acres is open Monday through Saturday, closed on Sundays. Go in there, tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
Speaking of the Lunchbox sending you, after this, we'll be sending you to more great food conversations. The one and only Tony Segreto, the legend himself, Joy Cornblit, Mike Mayo, myself, Defo is alive and well in Atlantic City. We've heard little jabs from him, so that's usually a good sign. More good signs of great food coming up next. Joe Beige will be joining us right here at Gulfstream Park on Mike Mayo's Lunchbox.
It's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me. I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox. On great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting, have I got the place for you? Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms, and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasto platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi, fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed on Mondays. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova, or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets. They've got eggs Benedict. They've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. Box. I don't hear myself. Now I do hear myself. And right on time, impeccable timing, as usual. Natalie attired. Dapper.
He's got
Dapper,
his
Natalie
Yankee
attired.
shirt on. Yeah.
Joe Beja, Executive Director of Hospitality at Gulfstream. Welcome back to the Lunchbox. This has become my favorite part of the week, really, to come out here on a Friday. It means the weekend is at hand. And this weekend, there is big happenings going on.
Man, there's so many games.
You guys all ready? You got all the whole menu and all the liquor bottles and everybody?
Are all squared away. The only thing left to do is we're going to start doing some pre-batching in the next hour or so. So so it's our bourbon and barbecue event for tomorrow. It's our taste at the track. It's our third one for the summer. And then we'll take a little hiatus and come back again during the winter meet in February.
Very nice. Now, I think fall officially begins Sunday, so it is actually right at the finish line of summer.
You're right.
And it looks like you have your fall wardrobe out. That
right,
looks like a little bit of a rustic college football type of thing, kind of jacket you wear when you go into South Bend, Indiana for a big football game.
You got a tip for us
for this weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm taking the Knowles. I think they're gonna end that streak in at Clemson.
Uh-oh. he's on board with Lubie. I've gone the opposite way. I think Clemson is going to pull off. Well, I guess you call it an upset because are they getting points? Yeah, they're getting points at home.
Yep,
they're a home dog. But maybe you're right. Maybe those Noles are just
Who do you like?
a little hiccup.
Who you like in the Notre Dame game?
Notre Dame and Ohio State. You got an opinion on that?
I like Notre Dame. I think Hartman's been playing well at quarterback. I like him.
I'm going against them. My ex is from the Columbus, Ohio area. I've got in-laws up there. Actually, my goddaughter, she is a Buckeye. She is all set to graduate. I can't believe it. I remember just holding her when she was being baptized in the church, and that was it's crazy, 20-something years ago. But she's a Buckeye, and I have now become reluctantly a Buckeye by, marriage. And even if it's a dissolved marriage, I still root for the team. And I'm of the opinion that Notre Dame is always overrated and will always self-destruct and face humiliation in a big juncture just when everybody believes in them again. Because when was the last time they actually pulled through and was able to go through a whole year of high expectations and not stumble at some point?
Yeah.
When was the last time they won a title? Does anybody know this, sports fans?
No.
I should
I think
know
the last
these
time
things.
they played for one was back in the Manti Te'o days.
Oh, okay.
Back in those days. That's been a while.
That's been a
15
while.
years maybe.
It's that's been a while.
But I think that I think they got a shot tomorrow. I think they
They have a shot, and it's at South Bend, right? So
Yeah. Yeah, they have College Game Day will be there.
College game.
Oh
day.
yeah,
Yeah.
College game day.
College Game Day will be there.
that'll be
Pat
good.
McAfee's there right now. I have him on in the office.
And the other big game, well, now that it's become big because any time that Colorado is playing, it seems like ESPN is hyperventilating over the whole Dion mania. But what do you think? Did they finally find reality this week? Will Oregon will shut them down and shut him up? Maybe.
I do. I think without Travis Hunter, I think it's going to be a.
It's not only that. It's Oregon is so good.
Yeah.
They're so good. Bo Nix was resurrected.
Yes. When he left Auburn for there,
and
absolutely.
He made that offense go, and then God bless him. But
Well, I'm going to be the contrarian on all three, and I'm going to say that Colorado's Cinderella story is going to continue, and they're going to shock the world, and Dion will continue to be insufferable, more insufferable than even me, and that's pretty insufferable.
well, there's
I like him with the points. You're going to give me 21 points. I'm going to take Dion.
you just pick
but
three.
Not
Is
to
that
win.
is that what the points at 21?
21 points.
Oregon by 21?
Oregon by
Oh, I'm
21.
taking Colorado all
You
day.
just-
I'm taking the points.
I'm taking Colorado.
You just
on the
pick
points.
three losers.
All right, we'll see. We'll see next week, Tony. Again, Mike Mayo, I don't know what the spread is, but give me, with this point spread, I'll take Ohio State, I'll take Clemson, and I will take Colorado. So there we go. And it won't be the first time I've gone 0-3 in my life, and most people do get rich by just going against my picks.
Now
So-
I got to go to Duke next week because for the Orange Bowl committee, and and they play Notre Dame next week.
Oh, wow.
So I'll be gone on Lunchbox Friday,
Oh, okay.
How-
You missed the show.
but
Mhm.
I promise I'll call in
Mhm.
to hear you.
All right. Well, that's
There
all
we
good.
go.
Let's talk a little bit more. I mean, it's Bourbon and Barbecue tomorrow. I'm going to be there. I'm looking forward to it. But the reason we're not promoting it or hyping it as much is because
You're sold
why,
out.
Joe Beja?
Sold out.
You
Yeah.
can take.
We are
You can
we
take
are sold out. So for all our events that we do upstairs, we like to do ticket sales at about 350. Capacity for the room comfortably
Right.
is 400, with all the different stations to moving around. So we'll do maybe 20, 25 tickets at the door. We always feel bad for anyone that may not be tech savvy, like to go online or may not have heard of it. And they're here at the track and say, oh, I'd like to go. So, at 1:00, we'll open up the first 20, 25 people that want to come in. We'll sell tickets for the walk-ins. And then there's always a few people that, we don't allocate for tickets that we give wristbands for. So it'll finish us up around 400.
You got
Nice.
you gonna you give us your list again of bourbons?
Sure. I actually brought you so I wouldn't leave one out. But we have Jefferson's Ocean. We have High West, Woodinville, Angel's Envy, Amador, Elijah Craig, Redemption, Bibb & Tucker, Tommy Rotter. We have Jack Daniels, of course, Honey as for lemonade, Tin Cup, Nelson's Brothers, Old Forester, Bullet, and Makers.
Wow. That is some lineup.
That is an amazing
I'm a
lineup.
fan of a lot of those.
I have a lot of the bottles.
Yeah.
a lot of the bottles.
I drink Bullet regularly. I drink what was it? You have the Jefferson? Yeah,
do.
that's good
I
stuff.
have Jefferson's Ocean at my house. That's
Yeah.
one of my favorites.
Which one of the old Foresters? 1910, 1920?
Oh, look at you, Mr. Fancy Pants, getting all
it's
specific
right here. I had it
on
as
the
the Old
bourbons.
Forester 86.
86. Okay. Look, if you like the brown liquors like I do, this is going to be a real treat.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if you've already been watching the Lunchbox for the past few weeks and you've heard about this and you've already procured your tickets, it's going to be a fun time. And I look forward to coming out. And what's the barbecue stations also? You
It's
got
amazing barbecues.
Hey, just for the bourbon part, just to reiterate, we make a cocktail for each of them. So we pre-batch
it's a
those, like I
batch,
mentioned. So
okay.
it's a batch that we'll do, and then we'll also have bottles that people can sample neat. So again, there's both options that will be
so
available.
you'll
at
have
each
like
of the tables.
old-fashioned style drinks sometimes, or
Correct.
things that are mixed with some
Correct.
interesting,
Yes.
any kind of like jalapeno or like spicy.
Well, we
I
have
don't
like a bourbon bramble. We have the
Bourbon
bullet
Bramble.
revolver.
that sounds good.
We have a watermelon mint with the
That I don't
Jeffersons.
know about a watermelon
So,
mint
yeah.
bourbon. Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna leave my
And
palate
of course,
open. Yeah.
things like the Kentucky Buck and then the Boulevardier.
No
and-
mint juleps, I hope.
No.
Okay. What do we think about the mint julep again? We've got to be diplomatic because obviously
Yeah.
the racing
Yes.
people here, we all like to get along
it-
with the different tracks.
No,
But as a critic, I can say it is the worst drink known to mankind.
yeah. Well, what we did is we took the mint julep and we added Chambord to it and called it the French julep. So
Oh,
that's
there you
about
go.
it.
Okay.
At least to
good.
give it a little bit
Chambord
palpable.
will get it. Otherwise, it's like mouthwash and stuff.
So-
Never
Joey,
had
did you ever have a mint julep?
Never.
No. You ever been to Kentucky
I have
Derby?
not.
Have you been to the
Yeah.
Preakness?
I have not.
Have you been to the Belmont
I
Stakes?
have not.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is it on your bucket list to go
I-
on a Triple Crown?
I watch them religiously, but
Yeah.
no,
I have.
I'd like to. That'd be pretty cool.
I've been to the
Yeah.
Belmont.
Kentucky Derby. I'd like to go.
As a young lad, I've been to many. We used to go, me and my brother and some friends, we'd go to the Belmont every year as an annual tradition. Went to 13 of them, but mine fell in between where was that long Triple Crown drought. So I've seen a lot of horses go for the Triple Crown, but none of them actually complete it. I wish I was there for the year American Pharaoh did it because that looked like just an amazing scene out there. Have you you've gone to a bunch of the
All the
Triple
Preaknesses.
Right.
I'm always working.
Yeah, that's right.
Always working.
No fun for you.
Hadn't been to a Kentucky Derby one yet, so
I tell you what, I've been to one as a writer with a credential and one as a drunken young person right out of college in the infield. Much better as a journalist because the year I went as a spectator, it was 49 degrees. It was raining. It was the year of the big Sunday Silence Easy Goer duel. That was actually, I think, in 88 or 89. I think it was right before I came to South Florida.
oh wow.
I was 23 years old. And all I know, I don't remember much about the day except I came home with no money, a complete muddy, dirty mess. And but fortunately, no bail money was required. So, hey, Joey, you want to hear about the contest this
Absolutely.
week? All right. Well, it's Oktoberfest time. So that means we're going German this week. And we're celebrating with a German restaurant that is on State Road 84 in Fort Lauderdale. It's celebrating its 35th anniversary this year and is a Tudor-style complex that features an adjoining deli with house-made sausages. The restaurant features an array of German beers on tap and a wide-ranging menu, including pork, lamb shank, roast duck, schnitzel, sauerbraten, and Defo's favorite, liver and onions. You got to make sure to save room for the Black Forest cake because it's pretty good. We also had a description of it from a 1997 Sun Sentinel review that said has a gingerbread interior that looks like an alpine fantasy set of Laurel and Hardy's Babes in Toyland, and it has enough dirndl-clad servers to stage a new production of The Sound of Music. Meanwhile, here we are. It is the first race at Gulfstream, and I gave Joey
We lost.
a loser.
Got the 8.
The 8. I gave you
We
the
had the
3,
2 and the
6.
3.
We had the 3-6 came in second and third. We had 2, 3, 6.
Let me tell you something.
And we lost.
I want to tell you something, Mike. When I was growing up,
Yes.
every Thursday for gosh knows how long, my mother made liver and onions.
Oh.
My father's favorite dish.
Wow.
Wow.
I learned to like it.
That smell of the
My mom-
liver
I
and
have
onions in a
I
frying
have not
pan.
had it since 18.
Yep.
Since I left the
You're
house.
scarred. Was
That
that
was
one? Was that on the
was it-
Beja
No.
dining room table?
No,
ever?
no. I was lucky enough to grow up with my Italian grandmother cooking, so it was mostly. I
Now,
can't remember anything that was really, really dreadful. on her end.
now, mind you, my mother's Italian.
Yeah.
My father's Italian.
Okay.
I'm 100% Italian.
Okay.
Liver and onions was his favorite dish.
Really? Is that in the
Wow.
Italian rep? I
Yeah.
guess Northern Italy,
didn't-
maybe.
yeah,
I don't know.
Man.
I mean, I'm sure I've had it a couple times growing up, but it wasn't the first thing my grandmother.
Very much
Always
a
went to.
German and Eastern European staple that some of my relatives and my father enjoyed it too. Oh, final clue. Do you know it already, by the way?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Driven by it a few times on my way to Runaway.
yeah, I mean, everybody drives past it if you go up and down State Road 84. A lot of people drive past it on their way to Anthony's Runway 84.
Yeah.
But
That's a,
but this restaurant, German, and it's probably worth a chance, a shot to go in there now and celebrate a little bit of the Oktoberfest. Before its rebirth as a German restaurant in 1988, this building for decades was the site of a New England oyster house, which was a sprawling regional seafood chain that had more than a dozen locations across South Florida from the 1950s, actually the late 40s, through the early 1980s. Did you ever know about the New England Oyster House? There was
No.
like 21 of them around the state and a
No.
whole bunch of them down here. Something that was before my time in South
I
Florida.
remember it.
Tony remembers.
Joey
it.
remembers
But
it.
this restaurant, before it became what it is now, was a New England Oyster House. So there are your clues. Again, send in the restaurant name along with the number from 1 through 10. That corresponds to the winner of tomorrow's 7th race at Gulfstream. It's a $60,000 maiden special race for 2-year-olds, field of 10. Send it to MikeMayoEats@gmail.com by noon tomorrow for your shot at the contest. And Joe, I hate to spring this to you on the air, but I think we want to have another one of our Lunchbox brunch bashes at the end of October, October 29th. It's the
Okay.
weekend before the Breeders' Cup. We wouldn't do it to you on Breeders' Cup weekend, but maybe the Sunday before,
Sure.
where we'll try to get a bunch of winners out, because some of the winners, I don't know, they haven't been claiming their prizes, and maybe we'll get a group of them to come in along with some of the regular viewers that will give the discounted rate.
Absolutely.
I love how I just tell them that.
Yeah.
Nope. That's I know. I
Okay.
knew it was coming.
Hey,
No,
Joe,
it's
what,
all good.
what
It's all
time do your doors open tomorrow?
Tomorrow we open doors 11:30.
Oh, on the weekends?
Oh, I'm sorry. For the restaurant's 11:30. Upstairs for the event will be 12 noon
12 noon for the VIP hour.
and 1 o'clock for GA.
1 o'clock for general admission. I'll be there at 11:59 with my nose pressed against
It's
the
the
glass,
I'll have my wristbands ready. And it'll be
salivating.
all good.
like the little the dog, the rescue dogs in the
Yeah.
Alps that had that little cask of bourbon
Yeah.
wrapped around their
Yeah.
neck. That'll be me. I'll
Yeah.
have a little cask waiting to fill it up
To
with all
go.
the pre-batch drinks. As thanks so much.
Always
As
a pleasure.
usual, always a pleasure. We got to do a little more business here on the Lunchbox. First, we'll talk about again yesterday Delaware chicken and
Delaware
seafood.
Chicken Farm. was
What a
bomb.
display of Oktoberfest celebration. They
Yeah.
put out all their different sausages there: turkey, chicken, pork, hot. They got a chicken feta sausage. All that stuff was
Yeah,
great.
chicken with cheese inside.
Yeah, the feta cheese,
Yeah.
and they also had pep, and that's just the sausage display. Of course, you walk in there, it is a wonderland for food lovers, especially on a big football weekend
Big
as
football
this.
weekend.
If you're going to be like you guys, camped in front of the TV,
Yep,
you could go pick up some provisions there at Delaware, such as the
we're
fish
stopping
dip,
on the way home.
the tuna salad, the smoked salmon.
Yeah.
You go in, you pick up a couple of steaks. You could get, of course, the great seafood, the shrimp, the Florida lobster tails. They'll steam some crabs or even lobster for you, and then you could just eat it right there and don't have to worry about cooking. Delaware has been around since the early 60s, 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood. They do a great job. Doug Carter, got to meet him and yesterday, 85 years young.
85
He
years
loves
young.
going in
I
there.
remember him when he was 50 years old.
Well, and he is, him and his staff, they do a great job. It's great. You don't ever have to worry about the quality and the freshness. It's a great selection. Delaware, go in there. DelawareChicken.com is the website where you get their daily, the daily offerings and the weekly specials. You'll find it all online. Better yet, go into the store itself because they will take great care of you. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. And we'll be back to wrap up this week on the Lunchbox after these words. Mayo here for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Since 1951, family owned for over 70 years, the home of freshness. I've been a customer for over 3 decades, and it's the place to go for poultry, steaks, meats, and of course, their unbelievable selection of fish and seafood. They've got it all: Key West pink shrimp, grouper, snapper, lobster, and of course, Florida stone crab claws of all sizes. Don't forget their famous fish dip and a full selection of prepared foods. It's located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just across from the Seminole Classic Casino. Owner Doug Carter and crew will take great care of you. Make sure to check out their weekly specials and daily catch online at DelawareChicken.com. Quality, value, freshness, that's the Delaware way. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Do you like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and daily fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have daily happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. Beach Cafe. It's a South Florida landmark, and it's one happy restaurant right on the water. Tables literally on the beach. A place where you could dip your toes in the sand, kick back, relax with island vibes, tropical drinks, and live music daily. You know it. It's at 1 Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea. And of course, it has Chef Chris Nealon and his famed Caribbean Floridian cuisine. With a huge menu with something for everyone: seafood, raw bar, conch fritters, burgers, sandwiches, salads, deli specials, and of course, that famous Bimini bread. They've got a great staff that'll take great care of you. There's something to celebrate every day. Open 7 days until late. Parking available on site. Happy hour weekdays 4 to 7 p.m. Go check out more at ArubaBeachCafe.com. Better yet, go in there yourself at Aruba Beach Cafe. Good food, drinks, friends, and laughter are always the catch of the day. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. We're wrapping up another week. I believe it. Another hour has flown by.
It has flown by.
Flight. It's amazing.
And not only has it flown by, our money has flown away.
Yeah.
With Defo gone, I just felt obligated to keep the handle up. So, Joey gave me a little money. I came up with a 236 box in the first race here at Gulfstream. And of course, what happens? 236. They ran second, third, and fourth with the 8, a 12-1 long shot just ruined all our tickets.
Yes.
And so I'm blown up in my doubles. You got your tickets blown up. And
Lubie and I are unscathed.
It's the story of our lives. I mean, but that's my gambling motto, with my football picks or whatever, is like, stick with me. you'll go 0-3. All right. Well,
Oh,
everybody, I
God.
hope your wagering goes a little bit better than ours did starting off, but it's early and we're not going to be deterred.
Hope you enjoyed the hour.
Yeah.
It was great.
Joey,
Sat here.
always
Thank
great
you for
to see
having
you.
us.
Thank you for
Thank
coming
you for
out.
having me. was great.
Tony, always a pleasure, my man.
One Lashana Tova.
Oh,
Have
yeah.
a
Shana
safe
Tova.
and easy fast to anyone
Yes,
who
and
will be
may we
contributing to
all
that.
be sealed in the book of life for the upcoming
There
new
you
year.
go. You did it.
Again, we're going to see everybody again on Tuesday. No live show on Monday, but I will be out here at the Taste of the Track Series Bourbon and Barbecue tomorrow at Gulfstream. If you're around, come on out and say hello to
Yeah,
me.
it'll be a blast.
Enjoy yourself.
Yeah, and go Knowles, even though I'm going to be betting on Clemson.
Go Irish.
Go Irish, even though my money is going to be on the Buckeyes.
And who else?
And go Dion, because he's such an insufferable prick. But hey, you must have a glorious memory of like Dion. He went in with FSU in the Bowden, like the heyday of. I remember this because I covered that game for the Spartanburg Herald Journal in South Carolina.
Oh, the Clemson game.
Where they went into Death Valley, I think, and Dion had a brilliant game. That was when he was playing
Well,
both
they did
ways.
the punt Ruski. I think Dion was a part of
I
that
think
team.
that was Puntruski.
Leroy
and
Butler,
I
that team was
remember
freaking loaded. Yeah.
I covered the winning team that we had a beat writer that was a Clemson guy. He was in the Clemson locker room, and I remember being in the FSU locker room and just Dion was preening and crooning, just going, "How you like me now?
Yeah,
How you like me
that
now?"
was the beginning of prime time.
Yeah,
guys.
that was prime time. So if you're a Knowles fan, you got to have a begrudging respect for the guy. He brought you some wins.
I appreciate him. I don't like him. I'm honest. I'm
All
not
right.
gonna lie.
Well, it's going to be a great weekend of
Great
football
weekend
and
of
other
food and
activities.
football.
Have a great weekend, everybody. And again, an easy fast for those
Yes.
who do observe. And we'll see you again on Tuesday. Back with Jeff Defo DeForest at Prezzo in Boca Raton. Until then, for Joey Cornblit, Tony Segreto, Mike Lubitz, I'm Mike Mayo saying have a great weekend and enjoy every piece of fish and enjoy every sandwich.